बारे में चलेगा. Hello students, today we will study continuous charge distribution. Is a part of electrostatics. Continuous charge distribution means what? While studying the properties of charge, properties of charge, what we have explained there is charge exists in the integral multiple of some basic charge. That is, that basic charge is nothing but the charge of electron, which is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulombs. Since the charge exists in the integral multiple of some basic charge, the distribution of charge is always discrete in nature. But when you come to macroscopic level, suppose if the charges are distributed on the conductor, suppose if there is a sheet of conductor or a wire of metal on which charge is uniformly distributed like this. Charge is distributed along the wire. Then if you consider a sheet of metal on which charge is distributed like this, uniformly distributed like this, like this. Suppose if there is a body, if there is a cube, like any irregular shaped body which has got some volume, if the charge is distributed throughout the body, surface as well as interior of the body. The 3D figure we can't draw here. Let us suppose the charge is distributed in a spherical body, both on the surface and inside. In the atomic level, discrete nature of charge, the idea of discrete nature of charge is okay. But when you come to macroscopic level, where we have a charge which is distributed continuously on the surface of a conductor, I have the interior of a conductor. If you consider a small area of the conductor, at the macroscopic level, if the area is very less, also, even though if it contains some microcoulomb charge also, suppose if this part contains, even though it contains 10 microcoulomb charge or 20 microcoulomb charge, 10 microcoulomb charge, suppose if charge is equal to 10 microcoulombs, this is 10 microcoulombs is equal to n into 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. 10 microcoulombs means it is nothing but 10 raised to minus 10. Sorry, 10 into 10 raised to minus 6. Then it will be 10 raised to minus 5. Then n will be equal to 10 raised to minus 5 divided by 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19, which consists the number of electrons in the order 10 raised to 14. That means even though that contains a very small amount of charge, 10 microcoulomb, it consists the number of electrons in the order 10 raised to 14. Because of huge number of electrons within a small area, it is possible or it is enough for us to consider that this distribution is not discrete, continuous. That means the idea of continuous charge of distribution, it is applied in the macroscopic level where a small area has within a large number of electrons. Even though it is discrete in nature, it appears to be continuous. Depending on this distribution of charge, whether it is distributed on a wire or whether it is distributed on a sheet or whether it is distributed throughout a 3D body, suppose like a sphere or a cube, if it is distributed throughout a body, Depending on that, how charge is distributed, the continuous charge distribution, there we mentioned three types, or we have three types of continuous charge distribution. For example, one is called as line charge distribution. Line charge distribution, or it is also called as linear charge distribution. Line charge distribution, it means name itself indicates charge is distributed on a line, along the length, along the line. Suppose for example, whether line is straight or it is curved line also. Suppose for example, if charge is distributed on a wire, charge distributed on a wire or on a ring which is along the circumference of the ring, or along the circumference of a ring. This is called as linear charge distribution. That means if wire is there, the charge is distributed like this. This is called linear charge distribution. The length of this wire is L. Then if consider a sphere, if the charge is distributed like this, this is also an example of linear charge distribution, where charge is distributed along the length, along the circumference of the circular ring. Then here if we consider anywhere a small portion of length dl, there is a small portion of length dl. If this distributed charge is q, if this distributed charge, total charge is q, let us consider within the selected portion there is a charge dq. Then when we select this small portion, because of huge number of electrons in this small portion, the charge appears to be continuous. Then here we define a quantity for line charge distribution, the linear charge density. Linear charge density is equal to, which is denoted by lambda, which is given by charge per unit length. Charge per unit length. So what is line charge distribution? Charge is distributed along the length, along the line. So for example, charge is distributed on a wire, charge is distributed on a circumference of a ring. If charge is distributed along the length, then it is called as linear charge distribution. Linear charge density means what? In this particular length, suppose charge per unit length is called as linear charge density. What must be units of lambda? Units of lambda, that is equal to charge by length, coulomb per meter. Okay? What is linear charge density? You understood. Then there is another charge density which is called as surface charge density. A continuous distribution of charge, surface charge distribution. Surface charge distribution. Surface charge distribution means charge is distributed along the surface, It may be or anything which is in the form of disc or sheet. If charge is distributed on a sheet like this, it may be of any shape. If the charge is distributed on a sheet, then this is called as on the surface of any object. If charge is continuously distributed on the surface of any object, that is called as surface charge distribution. Charge is uniformly distributed on the surface of an object, which is called as uniform surface charge distribution. For surface charge distribution, we define a quantity which is sigma, which is called as surface charge density, sigma. Here if we have a small area which is ds, and which is charge present is dq, then sigma is defined as dq by ds. That means charge per unit surface area. So what must be its units? Units of sigma is coulomb per meter square. Dimensions also you can write. Dimension charge. Charge means it is A into T. Area means L square. Okay. This is surface charge distribution. If charge is distributed in the interior of the body, then that is called as volume charge distribution. Suppose for example a solid sphere is there. Charge is distributed from center to the surface up to, that is in the whole body. If charge is uniformly distributed, then that is called as volume charge distribution. See, suppose if there is a cube or any body like that, cubing, three-dimensional bodies, if charge is distributed throughout the body, suppose for example, we have a irregular body here, charge is distributed throughout the body. It is not surface charge distribution. I am telling you this is three-dimensional body. Then this, within this three-dimensional body, let me select a particular volume of cube. Then this volume of this size, volume of this selected portion is dV. Then this charge is dq. Then if charge is distributed throughout the body, then it is called as what? Volume charge distribution. Usually they are defined for volume charge distribution means those bodies, solid bodies which have volume, like cylinder, solid cylinder, like solid cube, solid sphere, where charge is distributed throughout the body. There we can define this distribution, which is volume charge density. The quantity defined is volume charge density, which is taken as rho, which is equal to dV divided by dq. Okay. How many charge distributions are there? What is its units? Units of rho will be coulomb per, this is charge by volume, this is coulomb per meter cube. Continuous charge distribution means charge will be either distributed on the wire, which is called as linear charge density. Charge is distributed on the surface, it's called as surface charge density, surface charge distribution. There we will define sigma. Sigma is equal to what? Charge by area. Charge by length is linear charge density. Charge by area is surface charge density. And charge by volume is called volume charge density. How many types of charge distributions are there? 3 types of continuous charge distributions. Remember, what is lambda? Lambda is nothing but dq by dl. Sigma is nothing but dq by ds, surface charge density. And volume charge density is equal to dq by dv. Where dl, ds, dv, they are very small area, small length, small area, small volume. Okay. If we integrate these quantities, then we will get those particular values are charges, fields, force for entire body. Then now we will try to calculate force due to continuous charge distribution. how will you calculate force by using Coulomb's law due to continuous charge distribution? Suppose we have a continuous charge distribution of all the three types. Then here I will write first, this side I will write linear charge distribution, okay. Then I will write here surface charge distribution, then we will write here volume charge distribution. How to write the expression for force for all these distributions? Remember, here we define lambda, which is linear charge density. Here we will define sigma, which is surface charge density. Here we will define rho, which is volume charge density. Okay. Let us suppose suppose that charge is distributed on a line like this, plus 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 plus. Here we will write a small length portion which is dl, then the charge here I will take it as dq. Then this is x axis, this is y axis, this is x, this is y. Again, the common point I will take x common axis, this is y axis. Here we have a sheet in which positive charge is distributed like this. In this I will take a small area which is ds having a charge dq. Then here we have an irregular or volume based body where I am considering a cube of volume dV having charge dq. This is okay. Whether all these things are clearly visible once you see? Let us continue. See, the position vector of this dl is dl or whatever we have selected here is r1. The position vector of this ds is, let us suppose it is still r1. The position vector of this dv is, let's say it is r1. Then we want to calculate the force due to these charge distributions. Then for that purpose what I am doing, I will take a charge Q naught here, which is called as test charge. That means how much force this distribution will exert force on this. See, to calculate the force I have selected a test charge. Test charge means just I have taken this charge to see how much force this charge distribution will exert on this. Okay. In all the three systems I will take the same charge. Here also we will keep Q naught, and I want to calculate the force exerted by this distribution on Q naught. And here also we will take Q naught I want to calculate the force exerted by this distribution on this Q naught. And in all the three cases, let me take position vector of Q naught as R2. This is R2, this is R2, and this is R2. This distribution will exert the force on Q naught in this direction because Q naught is plus. This is also positive charge distribution. Then the force will be exerted in this direction. In this direction. Let this vector is R, which is given by, I told you, this is R1, this is R2, this is R. These two are in the same order. This is in the reverse order. See, these two are in the same order. This is in the reverse order. That means R1 plus R is equal to R2. R1 plus R is equal to R. Then what is R? R is equal to R2 minus R1. Triangle law of vector addition you apply. Triangle law of vector addition. See, these two are in the same order. It is in the opposite order. This is R plus R2. See, this is R1 plus R. R1 plus R is equal to R2. Then R is equal to what? R2 minus R1. In all the cases it is same. This is R2 minus R1. This distribution will exert the force in this direction. Again, this is the vector, this is the vector. These two are in the same order. This is in the reverse order. Here is R is equal to what? R2 minus R1. Here also I will write this is in this direction force will be exerted. This is the vector. Then R is equal to, I will write R2 minus R1. These are the small charges I have taken. dq, q naught. Two charges separated by distance r. You can use Coulomb's law. Here also two charges are there. Here also two charges are there. See, for this distribution we have lambda is equal to dq by dl, which implies dq is equal to lambda into dl. Followed, this lambda we define like this. For this we have sigma is equal to dq by ds, which implies dq is equal to sigma into ds. For this we have rho is equal to dq by dv, which implies dq is equal to rho into dv. Then we have one dq q naught, dq q naught, dq q naught separated by distance r. Then it is not that is whatever force I am writing here, it is not the force due to entire distribution, entire charge. I am considering only small charge dq. Then the small force that must be acting on this q naught should be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. This length of this line is L. Here area is S. Here total volume is VL. Then small force. Why I am taking small force? This is the force exerted by only the small charge, not entire charge. dF 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Then this is Q1 into Q2. Q1 into Q2 means dQ into Q naught, or Q naught into dQ. Q naught into dQ. What is dQ? Lambda dl divided by r square. R square. What is R? This is R2 minus R1. What is its direction from here to here? Then to write this force in a vector form, I will write here one unit vector r dash. Okay? Then here dF is equal to, what is the force here? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. What is Q? Q naught. Q naught into dQ. Q naught into dQ. Q naught Q1 into Q2. What is Q2? Sigma ds divided by r square, vector r square. This is unit vector which represents the direction. Again, what is dF here? Small force acting on this will be equal to, again, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Then what is q naught is a common. Another charge is dq. That dq is nothing but rho into dv divided by what is the another force. So what is the distance? R square, and it is r cap. These are the small values. Actually we will take the changes like this: delta s, delta v, and this. Since these are small values, I can take ds, dv, dm. This indicates the distance. This indicates, unit vector indicates the direction of the force. This indicates the direction of the force. In place of this unit vector, I can take vector divided by magnitude of vector later. Make a note of this. I will continue here how to write total force. Okay? Note then. See how to write the total force here. In place of this, you can write this as vector divided by magnitude of vector. This vector divided by magnitude of vector. See, this is one line. Can I write it here? df is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught lambda into dl. Here I will write vector divided by magnitude of vector. Here I will write r square. This r and r square will become r cube, and this vector remains as it is, where r is equal to r2 minus r1, you remember. In place of this I can write r2 minus r1 whole cube. This is r2 square, this is r1 square. I can write here r2 square r cube. Vector r cube means r2 minus r1 whole cube. Same thing I am going to write here. This is df is equal to, see, 1 by 4 by epsilon naught. Here I will write q naught into lambda dl divided by vector r. In place of unit vector, here I will write r square. Here I will write magnitude of the vector in place of unit vector. Then these are all similar in all the cases. You see how to write the complete force in this case. This is df is equal to, one case I will explain you clearly. Remaining things you can write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught lambda dl divided by, this is r square. R means what? R2 minus R1. R square into R. This will be R2 minus R1 whole cube. I am writing in the vector form. Then this will be vector R2 minus vector R1 in place of this. Then F will be equal to integration of this. Then whatever the things you can do, Q naught divided by 4 pi epsilon naught I will take out. Then I will integrate this as lambda dl divided by R2 minus R1 whole cube. In place of this, again I will write R2 minus R1 here. I will integrate this quantity over entire length. This is the final expression you can write for force. Follow this. The same thing will come here. Again, vector divided by magnitude of vector, this will become cube. Then what will be the total force here? Total force here will be equal to, see, this one thing you clearly understand here. Remaining you can write. What is R? What is R cap? R we know. R means what? R is equal to R2 minus R1. Okay. What is R cap? Vector divided by magnitude of vector. See, vector divided by magnitude of vector, you can write this here. See, one more thing. dF is equal to, here I will make you understand how to write this for this, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught this sigma ds divided by r square. R square means what? This will be r2 minus r1 whole square. In place of this unit vector, what will write? Unit vector is defined as vector divided by magnitude of vector. Vector divided by magnitude of vector again. This vector will be r2 minus r1. Magnitude of vector is magnitude of r2 minus r1. Here I will write dF is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught into sigma ds divided by, in the denominator I can write r2 minus r1 whole cube, and this will be vector r2 minus r1 as it is. Then entire force, if you want to write, q naught divided by 4 pi epsilon naught, you take it out and integrate the quantity over entire surface like this. This will be equal to sigma ds divided by r2 minus r1 whole cube into vector r2 minus r1. Understood it? And if you write it in this volume charge distribution, only thing is here we will get rho into dV, and integration will be throughout entire volume. Same expression will get. Unit vector, vector by magnitude, it will be cube. Okay? Total force we can write like this. If you are able to write force, in the next classes you can write the electric field due to continuous charge distributions. Okay, surface charge, linear charge density, surface charge density, and volume charge density. Remember all these three formula, units and dimensions. In the next class we will study electric field.